Hello there. Welcome to your new happy pace. Happy new moon in Taurus. That's what this reading is going to be about. I have some notes here, and I have taken a liking to drawing pictures. So, pardon my fingers. I wish you could see it, but it's like kind of a beautiful rainbow of highlighters. I didn't realize you guys can't see the black light, but it looks amazing. Either way, just to show you real quick what the gist is here. This is other people's energy coming in and it having a real influence on how you project your energy out as far as trusting your own self, your own instincts, intuition, what have you. All of that invisible awesomeness, right? Now, this is the after. This is the self recognizing that they have this guidance, right? Because both have the guidance. This is the self recognizing and trusting that they have the guidance. Now, this would be the Empress. That's the two is flow, right? The High Priestess. It's the flow. It's available to everybody. The three would be the Empress. Taurus, new moon in Taurus. Awareness of the fact that she has the two, right? Okay, so that's where I'm at. Let's go ahead and tell you what I've got so far. I've got the rune of Othala. And this is interesting because it's the number 23, which 2 plus 3, the number 23. And again, it comes up. You'll see. So the rune of Othala, which basically represents nobility. And when I was thinking about this new moon, it's like, I don't know if you guys seen any of my other readings, but I've been talking about this golden egg, right? I do believe this new moon is like a reborn sovereign self, like all in. Like none of us can really deny that we have internal guidance, anymore. I mean, to the degree that and you can see this on my little picture here, but to the degree that we trust our own selves, it's always going to vary, from individual to individual. And that's the beauty of it. So this is about you personally, me personally, the self, right? The self's happy place. Yay. So this is the card we got from my White Light Oracle, because I figured Divine Feminine is very important here, right? Now, mind you, number 23, okay? Beta of Spirit Wolf, which essentially means like instinct, intuition, presence, a trust in self, the resilience versus uncertainty, because you're experienced now. We're all collectively experienced now. We have gone through a lot of cycles to become aware of this flow. So this is where we are now. It really is about integration. So, a newborn trust in self that this wolf is yours. It's yours. And Othala being nobility, basically that inherent, I am everything I ever needed to be, all in one, whenever I need it to be there. So that's where we're at. I love it. Okay, add this to the mix. I'm so excited. Right? We walk by faith, what does it say? We live by faith, not by sight. And I wrote that here. Where am I at with this camera? Okay, so this person is walking by sight, right? Everybody else's input, projection out. This person has a little hole for other people's input, but is basically walking by faith, right? Trusting that flow that they have. They're finding joy in other people's opinion, but not dependent on it, right? So yeah, that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and get some cards. The number 23, very important, especially with 2 plus 3. This is essentially living by faith, not by sight. Gosh, it's gorgeous. All right, I've got a lot of energy that needs to be channeled. Let's go ahead and get this started. And I think I'd like to get the archetypes out first, and then we'll go ahead and get the get the band together. What I just thought. I love that. Get the band together. All right, there we go. I hope everybody had a really good 2 weeks of the full moon in Scorpio. Kind of liquid, interesting. Um, but I think I'm going to say this in sort of a metaphor, I guess, but I feel like it was an opportunity to get some, like, realize where your air bubbles are, and that we're fully capable of breathing underwater if we like. And reminding ourselves of that really is the thing that buoys us in order to rise to the surface, right? I love that. I love that. Thank you, Spirit. I love that. All right, and I shuffled these really good, but I'm going to go ahead and give it another one here, and then we'll get it cut and see where we go. I'm excited. I want to see how the unseen paints this particular picture for us. See how close I got on my beautiful doodle. So, the self, going into this new moon, May 7th and 8th. What does that look like, Spirit? The temple, beautiful. Whole as you are, right? Whole as you are. Where are we going? Where are we going? That's so interesting. 30, 39, 39. Okay. We're going into the one. Okay. Cool. Number 30. I don't usually read the numbers on these. I guess that's important. What do we have in our hands, Spirit? The sun, the king, all that is. That's right. The flow. We have the flow in our hands. Number 12, perfect. Yesterday was all about the 24. Today it's all about the 23. It's like now I wrote that. Okay. Natural. Now we have a newborn self-trust, a sovereign state of natural nobility, experienced self, trust in our senses. We know how to read our senses so we can look at our long game. We know what we really truly value. So it becomes so easy to kind of embody your own nobility, right? Because you're not fighting for your own spot in the all, right? In the one. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. We can tune in now without fear, which is a golden gift, okay? A golden gift of the moon in Taurus, right? Which is what is, okay. And what is the why? The siren. Interesting. What we are giving our energy credit to. That is so interesting because this picture, again, I wish you could see the highlighters, but that first picture is all about other people's leadership, right? Guidance. The second picture is all about that flow guidance, all about that internal guidance system. The siren, we want this to be about the internal, right? But it could go either way. That is super interesting how Spirit laid that out for us. Okay. My little baby hummingbird here is going to hold that. Wow. Interesting. That is so cool. And again, we have the wolf with us. So the temple goes into the one with the king in his hand. This is so beautiful. We have come to that place where we have joy. I mean, very, very quite possible, absolute faith and all in the one, if we recognize it, versus the voice of the other. That's beautiful. That is living by faith and not by sight. What's under? Wow. The ring. The eternal. Look at It's like the one, but manifest. Gorgeous. That's our underlying. And I think that's pretty much what I was getting at. Wow. Okay. I just visually, graphically, bear with me. Okay. So if you overlap, oh, I'm sorry. This is the temple, right? I'm not sure if I showed you that up close. Okay. This is the one. This is where we're going. So if you overlap the images, right, of the temple and the one, the self, where we're going, you get, well, with the king as well, because we have this in our hand. Now, look, this is yellow and green. This is red, orange, yellow. Oh, I didn't mean to drop you. And this is pink, okay? The siren on the outside. Oh, wow, I'm a mess right now. But the ring, ultimately, okay, has all those colors wrapped around like the truth, the actual, like the universal laws and whatnot. So the ring being the underlying of the temple, believing it's whole and all as it is, right? With that little bit of gold and the green, walking into the one, okay, which is surrounding the temple. The temple does not have any of that one on the inside there that's very visible for this particular um, visual graphic, right? And then you add the king in your hand, which is the sun. All right, this image has a right hand with a sun in it, sun expression all around it. So color added to the one. So its own personal self, its own personal mixed with the all, the one, creates that competence, that confidence in the competence of faith. Therefore, no matter what the siren says or what she sounds like, you're already noble in your own self. That is, thank you. Thank you, Kitty. This is North, by the way, North Star, and she is our mascot. Um, so yeah, we're looking at the ring. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the way this is coming together. I'm bumping my tree, so this is going to make history. All right, and let me go ahead and get the band, as I referred to them earlier. This is an awake oracle, which I think is just, it's simple, but so complex at the same time. I'm working on the just so y'all know. What I was going to talk about was this Othala being number 23, nobility, right? So this is kind of like the path of mastery where you realize that you're not 24, you're not like done, right? You're not complete. You're actually like a queen in tarot versus the king. Like you're aware of it and it, you know that there's an expression that you can make, right? So it's more like the queen versus the king, which is like the ultimate expression. You're done there, right? I hope I just explained that the way that I wanted to. But, yeah, so Othala is a great mix of 23, 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 22, 23 comes between 22 and 24. 22 is the number of harmony for me. 2 plus 2, right? 22. 23 is the number of joy for me. 2 plus 3. And, it's a long story how I came up with that. But 24 is completion, right? And that's kind of a universal. 24 is like the whole spin on the cycle, right? So 23 is right between harmony and done. You've found harmony with other, but you're not complete. You're in that anything is possible and complete. I am complete with the power in my hand. So it's kind of like that beautiful place of complete creation, like co-creation awesomeness. The 2 plus 3, the Empress, it's magical. I'm gonna play with some cards here too. Oh, look, she came out to say hi, La Luna. La Luna. Well, you're exactly what we're talking about. Thank you very much. I feel like I should put her over the one. All right. And we have interesting, unalone on the bottom. Definitely the sun and the moon up in there too. All right, let's see what the, you know what, let's get the mystical shaman first, and then we will get a representation from the moon herself. We're going to use the, excuse me, the Queen of the Moon Oracle. All right, so the temple walks into the one. The self walks into the all. The self recognizing that it is the self plus the vessel. Realizes it has everything it needs in its hand. So therefore now can embody the king, which is immune to the siren. So thank you, moon, or thank you, new moon. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and get one of these. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. The beauty way. And this is all about that flow. All about that flow. The number 4. All about that flow. That looks like it belongs above the king. The hunter on the bottom. All right, and last but not least, the Queen of the Moon Oracle herself. I'm really interested to see what comes out up here. And then, of course, tarot is my favorite part. To really put a map together for dot connection purposes, which is why we're all here right now, to see what the guidance is and how to best play with all this potential flow. This high priestess that everybody has available to them. The flow is there, whether we take advantage of it or not, right? The one is there, whether we acknowledge it or not. And, walking by sight, all, capable and everything, it has its advantages and disadvantages. But by faith, you're, encompassing all the power that you possibly could. And you're just leaving yourself at a detriment if you don't put some faith in the one, right? In the unseen, in the beauty way, in that even just the instincts of the self, that whether they make sense or not, they are, they are. There's something to be said for that. Just a self acknowledging that there is the one, right? Puts some power in their hand over the siren. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful how this. Let me breathe, because I do get so. Thank you, Spring. I do get so into the unraveling of the story. Here we go. Assessing. I love the lady with the hot air balloon. Talk about perspective. Number 9, first quarter moon. She's up there looking for the one. Assessing. Interesting. All right, let's see how the like I said, visually it would look like way cooler over here. All right. Pardon me. All right, and it's time to move her and play with Taurus. All right. I hope everybody's May is going cool so far. Like, I guess it's not that far in, but it's been such a long winter that this May is just, it does feel kind of like a newborn baby to me. I mean, I almost wrote that, but it was a cuss word. Like, it's a whole new self. We're coming out of that ooey gooey golden egg awesomeness of, for lack of another example, Easter, right? Spring. We've been talking about no mud, no lotus. We are truly coming out of the mud. Look at that. Beauty way showing up. The lotus. Wow. I just realized that. The lotus. Oh boy. I am just so beautifully flabbergasted right now. Assessing. Talk about assessing. All right, Spirit, how are you going to outdo yourself at this point? Because, we are walking by faith, baby. Or we would really like to. Because as the temple, I mean, this is a mature self. You realize that, and it's funny because I used orange here. I know you can't see the highlighters, but I used orange for other. Okay. And I used yellow for the flow, right? For the one. So it looks like, that's a good mixture here in the temple, but it's like the other, human beings, they're mixed in there quite a bit. So it's really interesting. The beauty way. It's really, oh wow, this is so cool. Oh my gosh. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Looky how I drew the person with the holes coming in, as far as energy. Holes coming in, holes going out. One hole coming in, holes going out, right? Look at La Luna. Does that not look like a progression of light and exposure and what we take in and what we put out, There's a real resemblance. So, yeah. I love playing this game, and this is why. The invisible made visible, right? Okay, did I cut these? I'm going to shuffle them one more time, and I'm going to cut them, and then we are going to lay this down, because I love a good story. Let's see. 23. And I love that number 23 for me is joy. It's beautiful, which is the number 5, which is all about change, a fresh start, which is May. It's the number of May. It all goes together. It's so beautiful. All right, Casey. Now, the 1 is where we're going here for this particular new moon energy. So, where's that here? Ouch. All right, into the heart of the matter. Into those personal attachments to the other. The other's opinion, the other's the status, what somebody has or all of that other. Okay? That's all that. Other. Not true, right? And it's not that it's not true. Other people can mean well. But we give it too much credence if it comes over ours. Okay? You have this person here, this healthy individual energetically, has a spot for other, but is has a spot for other people's, but is surrounded by the one, right? So always coded in it, so that opinion from other doesn't affect them. They can smile and say thank you for the advice, but no, I don't think that's a good idea for me, right? Keep it moving. Not be bothered one way or the other. But someone that depends on mostly, and I mean this in the best, most loving way, anybody that depends on other people's opinions for their own happiness is removed. And I wish you could see this, because I have the color of the self in pink, and it's separate, okay? These people feel separate from the one. Capiche? This is connected to the one. They feel like kings. Nobility. Othala. Complete. The beauty way. All right. So wonderful. Now, if anybody's still here we are. That's where we're at. Which seems very appropriate, because we are coming out of the dark. We are coming out of the mud as a lotus. And I am so happy to be able to give this message. So happy to be able to give this message. And look at that. Look on the bottom. Nine of Pentacles. Now we got a whole story with this Nine of Pentacles on the bottom underlying. Now I don't normally, if you've seen any of my other videos, I do not look. And usually I shuffle because I like to talk with my hands. So I love that, of course it's playing along, All right, what do we have for self? Self-mastery. What we find valuable. Exactly what this new moon is about. Exactly. Coming back home to ourselves, assessing what we hold our power in. Now, where is our power at? Where is our foundation? What are we attached to? What are self-imposed limitations? All of that stuff. Let's pour some water over it. Let's pour some flow. Let's pour some. I don't know if the one here would be referred to as completely water, but pour some self-worth. And that does we are actually I might have spoke too soon because we are showing up with the king in our hand, and this is self-mastery in my opinion. This is someone that is aware that is what we're working on. So perfect. As a collective, this would be us as the temple. How interesting is that? The Eight of Pentacles walks into the situation. Okay. It is so personal. It's so personal. And it is, I wrote that too. It's a repetition. Like any other habit, that nobility creates, nobility is something you remind yourself of, anything that takes away from you, that repetitive why is what I wrote. It's a great habit because if you ask yourself why, if something just doesn't feel good to you and it doesn't, to whatever degree it doesn't make sense, okay, ask yourself why, and if someone told you it was true, like, why? Or, if you're doing something that doesn't make sense, it's probably, you either learned it, the repetitive why. Create this wholeness in your own judgment, okay, your own internal guidance, as often as you can until it's, honed into something that is your instincts. You do feel like a king with it in your hand because it is in your hand and you can just live, right? Full, walking by faith because you trust all of you, not just your eyeballs or not just other people's opinion, right? You don't trust the writing on the wall. You trust what you feel like it means. Okay. So the foundation of this should be interesting. The sun, I love that. I'm sorry if I hollered, but yay. All right. There we go. The one, the king, that aspect of spirit that wants us to take it on. Full manifestation, full embodiment. Yes, I am the one. I am the temple. I am the king. The only siren song I listen to is internal. That's beautiful. I trust myself. Ultimately that I trust my connection with spirit over the siren. Beautiful. Past. This is us in the past. This is the collective in the past. Okay. Moving energy. The surrounding, please. Okay. Speaking, receiving messages, maybe unaware, or just not doing anything with it. We have a Page of Swords here for your surrounding environment. So maybe that is the aspect of the siren and the one, because that is, clouds and birds and a pink face on this page. So he's not certain, which is cool. It's kind of like neutral information at that point, right? Up to us whether we want to trust in it, right? Hold it in our hand, be a king, or negate it because Bob next door said it was different. So therefore, we put our power in Bob's opinion, meaning the siren, and we stay disconnected. Okay, we're gonna start trusting your own. You know, your first answer is always right. Thank you, kid. Self in the present. The Hermit, beautiful. The Hermit walks with those answers. That is a man with the star in his hand. Okay, we are wiser now. Look at that. That's beautiful. The Eight of Pentacles in this particular situation as the self. And then we have the self as the Eight of Wands in the past. And the Nine, I'm sorry, the Nine. The Hermit in the present. Okay. How does that Devil progress by the end of this, what is it, 2 weeks or so that a new moon or anything that is born on this new moon? Perfect. Wow. Okay, I'm picking this up. This is, okay. This is a situation. All right. This is a situation. This is how the situation evolves. Okay. Person relaxed in their environment with a golden sword secure underneath of them. They're very aware that this is what they're following, right? These three swords up here, other people's opinion, facts, you know, it's there. They're very, very aware of it. They're actually more aware of that than this picture, this stained glass window here, or this daydream, or whatever this is. So this is like whatever it could be, right? So they got their daydream going on here, they got their facts here, but they got their guidance, their internal guidance, their sure thing. Their sure thing, golden newborn self, right? Love it. That is a self with the wand. As a king. As a king. Perfect. Perfect. That's like the hermit sitting in it. In an just ever flowing situation. Like the Four of Swords, as much laying down as that person is, this is a constant state. This is a constant state of king, in my opinion. Or temple, at the very least. Plus the one. All right, let's see self in the future. I feel like it's time to shuffle. Self in the future. How many is that? Can I have just one, please, for the self in the future? Thank you. Oh, perfect. Seven of Wands. Heart all over your shirt. You're very aware of your wand. Very aware of your wand. And proud. Proud. In the moment that you're in. Look, one shoe on, one shoe off. He got out of bed. He was like, yep, that's me. Yep, that's how I feel. Yep. Or fending off the sirens. Right? Fending off the other. Nope. This is mine. My connection, my opinion, my inner being told me to go this way, so that's the way I'm going. I love that. The embodiment of the internal guidance system. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, and what do we have in the center, please? What do we have in the center? We have Two of Swords, a clear conscience. A clear conscience, easy nobility. Easy nobility. You know where you're at. That's all. That's the one. That's the self holding the king in their hand, knowing that they're the one. They're in the realm of the one. The way. There is no siren scenario bothering. Okay, so a clear conscience and actually feeling that. Wow. This is going to be, I wanted to say revelation. The Emperor. And I don't have any reversals in my deck. I just threw it. The Emperor. Ownership of the Sun. Oops, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bump you. Ownership of the Sun. You know, this is interesting because the Eight of Pentacles as the self with this situation, and the Sun being the foundation. So this self-mastery is in relation to illumination, you know, Illumination, to the fact that they were separating themselves from the one, right? Illumination of that means all-encompassing, the king, walking with it in your hand. Why are you going that way, Bob? Well, I don't know why, but I just had a feeling that I was supposed to go this way. You know, and we're the ones that give that power or take it away. You know, you could have the same conversation and be like, oh, well, I kind of had a feeling that, but blah, 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 blah. And then 16 miles later, you're lost. And you're like, oh, I did have a feeling. You know, we all have those things. This is owning those feelings. This is owning those feelings. That's the mature Seven of Wands. The king. Walking in the king. Being the king. Owning it. What's the hopes here for this new moon? This new moon. I can imagine what the hopes would be, but let's most definitely play it out. Yeah. I'm excited to see how we see this. How many is that? 2? Hope. The Empress. The Empress. How amazing is that? The Empress falls right underneath the Emperor. I don't know if y'all can see that, but the Empress falls right underneath the Emperor. The cross in the situation is owning the fact that you have that guidance in your hand, and it is the best possible guidance you're ever going to get. It's not Bob's guidance. Yeah, and Bob is my favorite word, okay? It's not the other, okay? It's not another human being. It's the guidance within, okay? So embodying that is what it takes. It's just saying, yeah, okay. You know what? Just for the fun of it, I'm going to go ahead and trust that I feel like I'm supposed to go left here instead of going right. And just see what happens. It really is that simple. It's just giving it a chance, and you will see that it plays out for you. This guidance within is there, whether you acknowledge it or not. So it's really up to us to embody that. We have a chance to be, like I've been going on about, newborn nobility in our own true selves, the trusting of our instincts and our intuition. And we have come to a place collectively where we are coming out of the winter. We are coming out of the mud. We do have a chance to bloom. And it's really up to us whether we embody that and own it and love it and just really evolve from here in the best possible way. Or if it's there, and it will get old fast, but if it's there and people are aware but don't embody that internal guidance, it's just going to be a really hard course of, and I don't mean hard, but I knew I should have went left, but now I'm 16 miles down the road further than and it's going to be a repetitive cycle of something like that. So hope says the Empress. Hope says the Empress. That's beautiful. Which is exactly what the illustration shows. That's the 2 plus 1. That's you as the individual. Plus the feed, right? Plus the flow. You have the Empress, which is also represented by Taurus. That's funny. We have the 5 of Pentacles as the fear that you're alone. Now that's interesting because 4 of Swords has I think maybe the only other stained glass window in the tarot. This 5 of Pentacles shows faith being put in people. Okay, the other, not that invisible pentacle up here. That 6th one where stuff really comes from. Okay, I know in the 6 of Pentacles it shows it coming from a guy, which is a whole, different card in relation to other cards, whatever. But in this instance, in this stained glass window, there's your faith up there, right? Don't be afraid. It's gonna, it's worth it. Obviously, the universe is telling you right here. The one is telling you that you are a king. You will never not be. It's just to the degree that you embody it, that you will suffer or not. And that's it's all personal. It's all individual. This is all very much, we are all individual expressions of all that is. And we're here to experience that. And if we don't 100%, and I'm learning this, we're all learning this. But it's like creating a disco ball or, a diamond. It takes experience to get multifaceted, right? You have to have those experiences before you can have that perspective. Interesting. All right. So the fear, this Five of Pentacles, tell us how it evolves through this process, please. Tell us how it evolves through this process. Thank you. The Hierophant. Beautiful. Look at that. The other church card. Churchy. Wow, Spirit. Five of Pentacles was the fear. The Hierophant is how that evolves. Okay? You know what the Hierophant says to me? The invisible made visible. Somebody that actually does tell you basically what I'm telling you. That you are the king. Okay? He has people listening, and there are keys here. That's the real truth. Don't put your faith in people. Put your faith in the one. Put your faith in the one. That essence of the one. Whatever that means to you. Because you know that you are whole on your own. Whether you believe in this or that. And if you don't take advantage of being whole, no matter what you believe in, you will suffer for it. It doesn't matter what religion is. Religion is a state of society. Okay? A human experience is a human experience, whether there's somebody there to wrap a box around it or not. What's the advice here, Spirit? Ooh. King of Pentacles, look at that. King of Pentacles. Nice. The King of Pentacles is a full representation of the full tarot. That is living in your environment, understanding how it works. The Empress matured in a masculine form, really. Taurus, again, like owning. It's a great combination of the Emperor and the Empress as far as it goes, actually. So it's really saying, embody yourself. Embody your temple. Take up all of that space with your invisible guidance. Okay, that feel-good stuff that's always right. Take up all your opinion space with that. Don't leave too much room for other people's. Okay, that's not where your faith goes. That's not where your faith goes. Your faith goes back up, All right. And the outcome, please, because I know it's going to be great. Whoops, I dropped that one. This is the outcome. Perfect. Number 1, the Magician, aware of his infinite self. All the elements, all the resources, everything he needs right on the table in front of him, on that precipice of, okay, I realize now, this hand pointed up here, and this hand pointed down here. This is his connection. He realizes that's a pure connection. Look at that white. Now that red cape that he has on, that's going to be that personal judgment of what this white goodness flowing through him is, right? He's determining that. So, it's up to you. Whether you embody every resource that you have, or not, and again, like I said at the beginning, this is totally up to us to embody it, or, well, we're embodying it whether we want to or not, all the time. Always and always. I wrote that as well. It's always here, right? You always have access to the one. Take advantage of it, be a king. Don't, you will fall for the siren. And you'll feel alone all the time because you're putting your faith in other people's opinion. Too much of it. That's not where your faith goes. Your faith goes within your own guidance system. Okay? What do we have on the bottom? I just picked that one up. Gosh, we had the moon. That is beautiful. We had the moon on the bottom. I mean, I do. I think we just got told that we are whole, whether we want to be or not. It's up to us how much we take advantage of that. And I mean take advantage in the most healthy, beautiful, biggest, most beauty way, that we were put here in order to be the noble king sovereign selves, with the one in our hand, on our side, all around us, available to us, whether we take advantage of it or not. Again, it's your temple. Walk by faith, because it's here. It's here. It's time to embody, integrate all those beautiful ways of saying you are everything you ever needed to be, and it's time to start trusting it. Happy new moon. Happy birthday for our newborn, wonderful golden whole selves. Let's see how this plays out going forward. Thank you guys very much. Please like, subscribe, all those other ways to show love. And I really do appreciate everything up until now for my new little baby Happy Place channel. Thank you so much for those that subscribed up until now and liked. And thank you for your patience in my growing curve. I appreciate that. So until next time, peace.